Everything I do revolves around this one thing. You ready? I always lead with value instead of leading with information about my product or my service or my opportunity. Okay? I will explain what I mean. Okay? Guys, this is one of the biggest differences between amateurs and top earners, right? And you might be guilty of this. If you are, don't feel bad. Probably no one's ever told you otherwise. I'm getting ready to now. So knowledge, as G.I. Joe would say, knowledge is half the battle. Is that what he says? All right. So my secret, guys, is this. So here's let's talk about what amateurs do. Everything about the way the amateur promotes his or her business, it's all product centric or it's company centric. It's all centered around, look at my thing. Right? The amateur says, look at my weight loss product. Look at my shake. Look at my ground floor opportunity. Look at my company, how long we've been in business, right? It's all company or product centric. Everything about the way a top earner promotes, the real way marketing works and the real way people are attracted to you, it's all customer centric. It's what is my customer interested in? What is the conversation? Hey, there's that word again. What is the conversation that's going on in my prospect's mind that I could talk to them about before I ever introduce my product, the thing I'm interested in, right? You guys realize when you go out and you say, hey, look at my great product, you guys realize that's selfish, right? Look at my product. Look at me. Look at my thing. When you say, hey, what are you interested in? What problem are you interested in solving? You know, how can I help you? That is the way value is provided to other people. Now, you want to know how to create that value? Here are the 5 questions that you can ask yourself right now, and I'll give you a ton of examples on this slide. Question number 1, ask yourself this. Do my prospects ever ask any questions right before they would make a buying decision? Because if you answer that question for free and it's weighing on their mind, that will attract them to you. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you were in a travel club, as an example, and you said, well, I want to attract people who love to travel and want to go on vacations and save money with my travel club. Well, what kind of question might someone ask right before they go on a vacation? I know what I do. I usually go to Google and I say things like, what are some of the best family vacation destinations for, families with young children? Now, if you answered that question, that would attract the kind of person who loves to travel and is probably getting ready to make a buying decision in travel right now, right? Or if you were, let's say, in financial services, right? And you said, maybe somebody is asking, I wonder if I'm on track for retirement, right? Or they're asking, gosh, I wonder where the best place is to put my money. Should I put it in the stock market? Or, should I put it in like an IRA? What's the best place to store my money? If you can answer those questions, you're going to attract your perfect kind of prospect to you. The next question you can ask yourself is this. Do any of your prospects struggle with a problem or a frustration that your thing could solve, right? So again, if you had a skin cream and somebody says, oh my God, I'm so sick of these wrinkle lines, well, you talk about their wrinkle lines, not about your skin cream. Or if somebody's like, God, I hate my job, well, you could talk to people about, hey, here's what to do if you have a boss that you hate, right? 5 things to do if you hate your job, right? And that would attract people to you who've got a pain point that maybe your opportunity could solve for them. Let's look at the next one. This is a pretty powerful one. Stories work really, really well on social media. Do you have any stories of people who've experienced something awful because they didn't have your thing? Okay, and I'll give you 2 quick examples of this. First example, in my hometown, we've got an insurance salesman who sells homeowners insurance and car insurance and stuff. She was Tyson, I don't quite understand how could I use this? I said, okay, do you know any stories of somebody who they weren't covered the right way because they didn't understand their policy, or they weren't covered at all? And she said, oh yeah, I got a ton of those. I said, okay, tell me a good one. She said, well, I'll tell you a bad one. It's like an awful story. She said, we had a tornado come through our town and wiped out several people's homes. And when they went to cash in their policy to rebuild their homes, they realized they didn't really understand their policy and they weren't fully covered the way they thought. I was like, well, do you think that story, if you shared that on social media, would maybe perk up the ears of other homeowners who think, gosh, I wonder if I'm covered, right? Now, I told you I would teach you tactically how this would work to actually get people in Messenger. So you might be thinking, okay, all right, I see how that might be intriguing, but how in the world would I transition from that to actually getting somebody to reach out to me to have a conversation and go further? Well, here's a great example. that insurance agent could say, hey, by the way, if you have ever wondered if you're fully covered the right way, I've got a 3-point checklist that you can complete in less than 5 minutes to look at your own policy. All you have to do to get it is just reach out to me in Messenger. It's totally free. I'll send it right over to you, and you can know whether you're covered the right way in your policy within 5 minutes. Okay, did anybody just have an aha moment from that? Right? I had somebody who was in like a legal company, right? There's probably all kinds of stories of people who, they didn't have the legal coverage and their business was destroyed, or, they got sued or whatever. And if they had only had the right, do you think that might attract someone who would maybe perk up their ears and say, all right, maybe now I'm open to hearing about what legal services you might have to offer me. Now, on the flip side of the awful story, right, of the terrible, awful thing, what about positive stories, right? Do you have any testimonials? Has there anybody who's ever used your product and they've gotten a great result? Their life is now better as a result of it. Could you share that as a case study and then say, hey, by the way, if you want to know exactly how Jennifer got these results, reach out to me in Messenger. I'm going to share her exact 3-step process for how she did it. It's totally free, and I'll send it to you immediately when you click this link and reach out to me inside of Facebook Messenger. They never had to leave Facebook. They never had to go to a website. And finally, the last question you can ask yourself is this: do I have a passion product where people would, maybe I'm not solving a problem, but they might enjoy tips for how they could increase their enjoyment out of that thing they love? I'll go back to golf, and then I'll give you a few other examples. Like I said, my dad is an avid golfer, loves golf in his old age. If my dad saw something on Facebook and he's scrolling through his newsfeed and he saw something that said, hey, here's one simple thing that you can change with your golf grip to get an extra 20 yards out of your driver every time you hit the golf ball, my dad's ears would perk up and he would be attracted to that like a fly on cow manure, right? And that is the kind of stuff that, no, because he wants to extract more joy out of his passion, which is golf. If you were in something like wine, right? What kinds of things are wine lovers passionate about, right? Maybe you say, hey, have you ever wondered what, how to keep your wine fresher longer, right? Or at fashion, if somebody's real passionate about looking good, what kind of fashion tips could you share? Like how to look better, how to wear jewelry in a way that makes you look better, right? How can you give some tips to help people increase their enjoyment out of the thing they already love? Now, I know some of you are thinking, Tyson, I know some of you are, I'm seeing the comments here. People are like, oh my God, like this is crazy. I'm so getting it now. So let me ask you this, all right? If you want to see the flow kind of how this works, I'm going to show that right now, because I know some of you are still like, okay, show me the actual click by click, like tactical part of how they go from what would you post on Facebook and how would they get to your Messenger. So let's kind of show you that right now. So this is a real post that I use in my business to target one segment of my audience that I help in my business, right? So I'm helping here home business owners who maybe they've started by, promoting their business to family and friends, but now they've run out of friends and family. Now they're starting to say no. They don't have anybody else to talk to. So I'm attracting them by answering a big pressing question and solving a big problem for them. Notice the ad has nothing to do with my product, my company. I don't talk about that, my thing, ever at all on Facebook, right? I talk about them, the conversation in their mind, and they go, wow, this was really valuable. In other words, I provide value right on Facebook. This is how I avoid getting my Facebook ad account shut down, because I provide ads that people enjoy in their newsfeed. Wow, that was a great story. Wow, that was really helpful advice. Holy cow, I really enjoyed that. And people, you can see down here, people actually like it. They laugh, they comment, they heart it, they give thumbs up, they share it with their friends. That's the kind of ad I want to be posting on Facebook. But compare that to what most people do. Here's what most people think promotion on Facebook should be. Hey, everybody, we're running a big sale, right? Come check our furniture out. Or let me post amazing, I see network marketers especially do this all the time. Like, ooh, let me post pictures of our product bottles as if that's good. Ooh, oh my God, hey, I just saw your product bottles on Facebook. I am dying to get a hold of a product bottle that looks like that. Oh my God, how crazy stupid, right? But we've never been taught any better. So if you've been doing that, don't feel bad. Just change your ways, right? Start by leading with value. And here's how you get those people into Messenger. Here's the tactical part of it. There's 3 ways I can get them off of this message and reaching out to me to have a conversation inside of Messenger. Number 1, I can put a link right inside of the post. Number 2, if I run this post as an advertisement, they can click on the ad and they can go into my Messenger, or they can comment on the post and I can either manually reply back to every person that comments, or there's some really cool tools that you can set up that are called messenger bots, where every single time somebody comments on a post on your ad, like you could say, hey, are you interested in, like, I don't know, are you interested in my 7-day detox challenge? If so, comment below and say, count me in, right? That's similar to what one of my current customers is doing right now. Killing it for her, right? In fact, she might even be on this webinar right now. And when people comment, there's a tool that can monitor every comment, and automatically it responds back to them. You could be sleeping, you could be golfing. It is the easiest, simplest tool I've ever seen to set up technically. And now those people can now reach out to you, and they, inside a messenger, they never had to go to a complicated website, and you now have permission to communicate with them further about what you have to offer. Now, before we go any further, I do need to answer a big question, pressing question that I know some people here have. Now, this may not be for everybody. If you're here and you own your own product and you have all control over what you're promoting, great. Just bear with me for about 3 minutes while I explain this, because there are some people here, maybe you're in, like financial services, and you're like, Tyson, there's a lot of rules in financial services with what I could say about this, or my company has rules. Or if you're in network marketing or direct sales, or you don't own the product, your company might have a big book of rules, and they say, well, hey, if you're going to market online, you can only use company approved marketing materials. And so you might be thinking, Tyson, I can't figure out how this would work for me if my company has all these strict rules. Okay, if you're asking yourself that question, here's what it tells me. It tells me that you don't yet understand the difference between marketing and selling. You see, you think that in order to sell your thing, you have to talk about your thing in your marketing. That is not true at all, and I'm going to prove it to you in just a minute. You see, selling is what this guy is doing, and nobody likes it. When you talk all about your product, that's what your company can ban you or prevent you from doing, right? Posting company logos, showing pictures of the product, saying, hey, I got a great product, we can cure cancer, right? That's why your company doesn't want you talking about the product, because they could get in trouble for what you say. But when you talk about the product directly, people feel like you're doing what this guy is doing, like you're trying to extract money, like you're trying to pull their money, and nobody likes that. Nobody wants to be sold to, but we all love to buy. You see, selling is when you're talking about your thing, but marketing is when you're talking about your prospect, right? And what you have to understand is that in most cases, now check with your company to be sure, but in 99% of the time, guys, yes, your company could prevent you from talking about the product, but they can't prevent you from talking about your prospect. Okay, let me give you an example of what I mean, okay? In fact, I think this slide right here will clarify it all for you, for anybody that doesn't understand this, okay? Let's say that you were in some sort of affiliate company or direct sales company where you sold grass seed, and you're like, oh man, this grass seed is amazing, my yard looks awesome. And so you went online and you wanted to say, hey everybody, we got the best grass seed in the world. And your company says, hey, listen, we don't want you going out there making crazy claims about our grass seed. So you can only use company approved marketing materials. So yes, your company could prevent you from doing this kind of message, but you see, nobody likes the message anyway, because they feel like you're pulling money out of their pocket, like that one guy that I showed you a few slides ago. Marketing, which people like, is something like this, right? Hey, would you like 3 simple tips to get the greenest lawn in the neighborhood, right? In most cases, your company cannot prevent you from creating a Facebook page or a YouTube channel where it's like, Dan's lawn care tips. You're not talking about the product at all. You're just helping people have more beautiful lawns, right? Or if you were in financial services, maybe you worked for Merrill Lynch, right? And you're like, well, let me tell you, everybody, Merrill Lynch is a reputable company. We've been in business for over 100 years. You see, nobody gives a crap. Nobody cares. What they would care about is like, hey, here's 4 ways to tell if you're on track for retirement. If you led with that, it would attract the kind of person who would want a Merrill Lynch agent without you having to talk about Merrill Lynch at all, right? We have the greatest comp plan in the history of direct sales for all of you who are in network marketing, right? We pay out 15 different ways. Come check out ground floor opportunity, right? Or, hey, would you like to know 5 proven ways that you can make a side income from home, even if you have a full-time job? Hey, check out this, this free report or this free video. I'll tell you, 5 simple things that you can do to start a business, from home for less than $300. All right. How about this? If you're in energy, right? We have over 80 providers with the lowest energy rates. Nobody cares about that. But if you said, would you like to discover 5 simple ways that you could reduce your monthly home living expenses by as much as $700? I mean, think about all the people that could use that. I mean, somebody who installs solar panels could use that if you sold energy providers, right? One more for those of you in weight loss. Instead of saying, oh, let me tell you all about our weight loss shake. It's made from the highest quality ingredients, and we send Tibetan monks up to the highest mountains in the Himalayas to breathe their Tibetan monk breath all over our ingredients. That's why we're better than our competitors. And everybody's like, oh my God, shut up about your product. If you were said instead, hey, here's would you like me to give you 10 fast and easy fat burning recipes that your whole family will love? Yes, even your kids will eat them too. Now that would attract the kind of person who wants to lose weight, who wants to be healthier, and might eventually be interested in your product. And guys, here's proof that this strategy works and that top earners use it. Check this out. Now, this is not somebody I know. He's not like a student of mine or anything. I just did a quick web search for top earners in real estate. And this guy named Brendan Bartek came up. He did close to $70 million in real estate sales. He works for Keller Williams Realty. And I thought, I wonder if I find his website, if he's going to talk all about Keller Williams. Nope. Top earner. You know what he says? Stuff like this. Hey, would you like some staging tips to help you sell your home? Now, that attracts the kind of person who would need a realtor without him talking about Keller Williams or why he's so amazing, right? Gary Vaynerchuk, he's worth $160 million. He built his family's wine business from $3 million to $60 million. You know how he did it? Hey, have you ever wondered how wine glasses affect wine? Check out this video. Would you like to know some great 90-plus point wines that you can get for under $10? For those of you in network marketing, I know there's a lot of you here who are in that. Here's Susan Sly, who's a millionaire in network marketing. She was in a health and wellness company. But if you go to her website, you will be hard-pressed to find anything mentioning her company anywhere. Why? Because she talks about stuff like this. Hey, would you like to know 5 ways to get fit when your life is crazy? Of course, you've seen me do this. I have videos all over my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, even in my photography business. I say, hey, if I want to attract somebody who's interested in getting family pictures done soon, what kind of questions could I answer for them? Well, they're probably wondering, hey, I wonder what we should wear for family pictures. What's the best time of year? And by the way, here's some really good news for you. You don't have to have a fancy website like I've got here at all. I could just as easily have delivered this pictures and content right inside of Facebook, right in Messenger with no fancy website setup whatsoever. You don't have to have a blog, a capture page, an autoresponder. And for those of you who are thinking, but gosh, Tyson, you've created so much content. Well, it's because I like to. I kind of like to talk if you haven't figured that out. But you don't have to create a lot of content. In fact, think about what I showed you with Brenda. She said, right? Brenda said, I created my first ad and within a matter of hours, I had my first lead, and then constantly 5 to 6 new leads a day on autopilot on a penny pincher's budget. And that was just from one piece of content. Here's a guy named David, who is a student of mine. He's in real estate, and he created one video. He attracted 2 leads, and both of those he led to closed deals totaling $13,000 in real estate commissions from one video. So no, you don't have to create a ton of content to make this work, and you don't have to do video either, right? If you can think and you can type, or think and talk if you do want to do video, then you can do this. Now, the tactical part of how do you get them into Messenger? We're gonna kind of finish up with this, and then I've got something really, really cool for those of you who want to dive deeper. We'll be talking about that here in just a minute. But for the tactical part of how to get them into Messenger, let me give you a few tips here. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you give them a small but a logical next step, right? You don't want to show them something on Facebook that's like, hey, here's these 3 tips. And then you're like, oh, by the way, if you want to join my business opportunity, go to the next page and give me $1,000. And they're like, whoa, dude, like way too much, way too soon, right? So kind of like the real estate, the insurance example I gave you earlier, a logical next step might have been, hey, if you're wondering if your home is covered, reach out to me, and I've got a 3-point checklist that you can check your homeowner's policy in less than 5 minutes. It's totally free. That's a logical, simple, small next step. Now, in terms of the tactical part, well, you can use a little tool called ManyChat that is $10 a month. It is one of the simplest tools to ever set up to create amazing automation in your business. Unfortunately, I don't have time to dive into exactly how to set that up in this webinar. But I do cover that in my home study course, which I'll be showing you here in just a minute for those of you who are interested in diving deeper. But if you don't like automation, I know there are some people here thinking, Tyson, I just think automation's way too, those bots, they're just way too non-personal. Hey, that's fine. If you want to reach out to every person personally, you can use a message, and you might want to take a picture of this on your screen, grab out your cell phone. If you type in fb.me/MSG, and then you put in your page name, what that'll do is it'll take people straight over to your page. In fact, let me just give you an example of how this works and what I mean, okay? So like my Facebook page, my business page is facebook.com/Tyson's Honor page. So this is my page name, Tyson's Honor page. Well, I could get someone into my messenger by saying, hey, go over to my page and click the blue button to send me a message. But the problem with that, the problem if I do that is that I'm asking them to do multiple steps. They might get lost along the way or whatever. If I want to just get them straight into Messenger, I can have them say fb.me/MSG, and then they put in my page name, which is Tyson's Honor Page. You could put that link right in your Facebook post, and it goes straight, it takes them straight into your messenger. So you could say, hey, reach out into me in Messenger. Let me know that you want this free thing. And it sends them right over into your messenger. Now, somebody is asking what ManyChat is. So let me show you, if you wanted to do this with a tool like ManyChat, which I teach you more how to use in depth inside of my course, let me show you, like, here's a real ad that in real time, I'll show you how this works. So I've got this post. Now, somebody could click right here where it says learn more, but I don't have to even run it as an ad. This link right here, this link goes straight through ManyChat, okay? So I'll show the link again. Just have your cell phone ready so you can take a picture of it, Michelle, in just a second. So this link right here goes through ManyChat and everything is automated. So watch, I'm not gonna do anything other than click the link. It goes into my messenger, and ManyChat is a bot service. I can create one little message one time, and automatically my page sent this person a message without me having to do anything. It said, hey, thanks for requesting that free video. You can watch it now. And as soon as they click watch the video, I could literally have my bot send them the video inside of Messenger. It could be my face talking to them. Imagine how fast you can build a relationship if you recorded a video like that talking to people and it was sent on autopilot. I do that. In fact, you can even see, like, here's a video right up here. Sorry, my screen is going to freak out on me, but that was a video that I had sent straight inside of Facebook Messenger, right? And you can do that. That's what ManyChat allows you to do if you want to create that automation, but you don't have to necessarily run it with automation. So somebody is asking if I can show that link again. Yeah, take a picture of this. And then I've got one last little thing. I'm going to spend about 2 minutes talking about conversion. And then we're going to wrap it up. And I'm going to show you a very special offer I've got for you guys for sticking around with me on this webinar. Okay. Everybody take a picture of the link, fb.me/MSG. And then you insert your page name there. For anybody who's got it, post it in the chat so that everybody else can get it if they didn't have time to grab it. All right. Now, the last question, let's talk real quick about converting leads into sales. Guys, if you can do step 1 and 2 correctly, find people who are targeted and already have desire, get them to reach out to you and build trust, converting becomes way easier, because if you've done your marketing correctly, Peter Drucker, who according to Forbes is the father of modern business consulting, says the goal of marketing is for you to make selling superfluous. In other words, for it to be almost unnecessary for you to be a hypey, pushy salesperson. And here's why that is. Here's exactly what my business looks like. From the time a person first finds me over here until the time I actually show them a product that I want them to buy from me. So not so that I can just make money. Yeah, I'm in business to make money, but so I can genuinely help them, right? Before they ever get here, I'm laying all the right groundwork in this 80% of time. And what most people are trying to do is to present their product way too soon. Think about everything. Guys, most of you have no idea what the name of the product is that I'm about to share with you in just a moment that I believe will absolutely help your business and help you to get leads really, really quickly. You don't know, because that's not what this webinar has been about. It's about building your desire about what's possible, educating you on how it works, qualifying certain people, disqualifying others. Think about earlier when I said, hey, if you're here because you just want some magic ninja tool that's going to get you leads without you providing value, please leave the webinar now. I was disqualifying the people who should never see my offer in the first place. So when you do your marketing correct, the people that are left are ultra hyper responsive people who are most likely to buy your thing. And the good news is, if you do that 80% right, your prospects look at you like this. That the real power of marketing is that it positions you in the right way to sell without having to be hypey. And the perfect example of this is Oprah Winfrey, right? Oprah doesn't have to be a hypey salesperson to sell a book. All she has to do is say, hey, here's a book I recommend, and it just goes flying off the shelf, right? It has the Oprah effect because she's provided so much value and people trust her recommendation that she doesn't have to be a hypey, pushy salesperson. And as a result, you guys, listen, guys, you don't have to be Oprah, okay? When I got started, I was able to do this as well by not having any results, by not having any credibility whatsoever.